How do you think, as a leader of World Business Chicago, how do you think this moment affects recruiting to cities? What does the future look like for the growth of cities?
Look, cities and urban centers were on a, big, high trajectory. Young people wanted to be here, wanted to be engaged. I don't think that's going to dramatically change, in the longer run. In the short run, I think people are absolutely rethinking, being in crowded places and thinking that through. But I think we still have, our core assets are our core assets. We have great talent. We have lots of great things for people. We have incredible housing. And I think young people are still going to want that. But I definitely, people are going to rethink, just like people are going to rethink in the short run, do I want to get on a bus or on a public transportation system? I think in the immediate short run, that's going to be challenging for people, but I think we'll work through that. And the things that were making us strong and that trending towards urban centers are not going to dramatically change. But, it is, to your point, it is a little early to tell how the shock waves from this pandemic and this particular crisis, how far reaching they are.
What are your thoughts, to all of you, on what this does to the talent pool that you have access to? Does it change that for you?
I think I would say a little differently, which is, I think everyone is going to have access to a broader talent pool. We see our top talent being recruited by companies that don't have any Chicago presence, because they've committed to being fully remote or more accepting of remote. I think that's actually the bigger risk than, or maybe the bigger change, the way I look at hiring, than sure, can I have more flexibility? Can I cast a wider net? Can I be more flexible to people in different geographies? Part of the reason I moved my company to Chicago was to take advantage of the labor market and to say, I want to be here where there's this amazing talent. And, if companies that are not in Chicago now have easier access into our amazing talent, I think that's a huge disadvantage for Chicago companies. Great win for Chicago talent, but I think a challenge for Chicago companies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mark, Andy, any thoughts on that?
I agree with Sam. I think, I have the contrarian view of this whole work from home. We are able to do it. I mean, there are 1,000 of us working from home. We've been successful in maintaining our business, keeping our customers happy. We have the infrastructure in place from an IT perspective to do it, and we are doing the most and best we can on the engagement. But the contrarian view to this is, what else would you possibly be doing? Now, I know we talked about work-life balance and helping out with the kids and spending some quality time, but if there are 24 hours in a day, you sleep 8 hours, you have 16 hours to do 8 hours worth of work for a frontline employee with no distractions, or if there are distractions, they're limited just in a few hours during the day with the kids. When the city, when the state, when the world starts opening up and you can go to bars and restaurants and you can meet your friends and you can become that full and complete human being, you won't necessarily have the same amount of time available to you that you would dedicate towards your work. And so I am very concerned with the productivity fall off, because there's a lot of pressure on me to allow people to continue working from home for a long time. There's also the camp that says, well, it should be a perk. The people who have been employed the longest are the people who produce the best scores, assuming you have KPIs and you can judge them. As a perk, they should be allowed to work from home. And my fear is, if you're a new employee or you're a lower performing employee, you will not have the benefit from those tenured employers or those high functioning employees who can really bring you along on the journey and help you and help your company and help your culture. So I think we're going to all find ourselves in a bit of a Wild West scenario, feeling pressure from outside of Chicago. I think most of us are very neighborly in Chicago. We do have a limited labor market as compared to other cities, but there have always been enough people to help each and every one of us be successful. But added pressure from outside will be difficult, especially in the short term.
Mm-hmm.